Okay, I just take these bolts. I have holes established in my table, and I push them up through. I take my square and a little door thingy. Oh. And I bolt my square onto the table. Bear with it's crazy. I've been fasting since today's Friday. So I'm basically on about my 11th day of a fast, and I've only eaten 2 full meals in 11 days. And it's crazy how good I feel. I begin to think that maybe food is some type of poison for me. However, it's not like I don't eat. I still have my coffee in the morning. And in my coffee I have stevia, and it's decaf coffee. And I have cream. So I'm getting calories with the cream. So that's the only place. And then I get calories because I drink a protein drink that has 0 carbohydrates, 0 sugar. And that gives me 130 calories. So between the protein drink and that's basically where I get it. Oh, I hate to confess this, but it's true. And I fix a margarita in the evening, and I use a margarita mix that's low in, it's the light margarita mix. So, I'm probably getting another 100 calories there from having a margarita. And then during the day, I drink what's called Powerade Zero that has 0 sugar, essentially, But, I'm getting some nutrients and things of that nature in. But tonight I'm going to, so on the weekends are kind of like my time where I kind of do what I want. So my wife's going out with the girls tonight, so I'm going to fix a pizza, a gluten-free pizza, and then tomorrow night we'll probably go out, and then Sunday we'll probably get pizza and wings in the afternoon, and then I'll go back on my fast again. So, but like I said, it's crazy how good I feel. So I've got that locked into place. So it kind of gives you an idea. Now I can just adjust this according to what my layout says, and I can make a horizontal mark all the way around this sphere. So, but I haven't done my math yet. I don't know if anybody's interested in watching me do math. This is actually a part of the process that I really enjoy. Math is just cool because it doesn't lie. It's probably only true thing it's just math is math. It is what it is. You can't, it just doesn't lie. Though I do need to go get because I don't like doing it all by hand. So this is essentially, I'm doing the best I can. It's essentially a 31 inches in circumference. So excuse me just for a second. I don't know if I can pause this or not. I'm not gonna mess with it. Let me go get my other phone. My other phone has Construction Master on it. I have an Android and I have an iPhone. And I get a kick out of it. Everybody says, oh, you got to have an iPhone, you got to have an iPhone. Well, the apps cost way more money on an iPhone. I can't download any of my videos to my Dropbox from my iPhone. I'm sure there's some process of doing it. So I'm finding out that I'm, like, the video I just did was on my Android. Granted, it does work, iPhone videos work good with Instagram and they work good with YouTube. Just can't put it on my Dropbox. So it's like Google and Apple have it in for each other, and they don't want to particularly talk, but it's weird because I have all these apps that are relatively cheap, if not free, on Google. But on iPhone, if I get those apps, they cost me just a ridiculous amount of money. So, however, I do write everything down when I do my math. So, I just grabbed a random piece of paper, me and all my notes. Probably throw this one away. Throw this one away. This is old stuff. I'm a list maker. You know, don't want to forget things. Okay, so the diameter here we go. I have my favorite pens. So the diameter is 31 inches. So I have Construction Master on here, which works in inches and feet. So clear 31 inches divided by 2 equals 15.5. Divided by 2 equals 15.5. So, you know, you might say, oh, who doesn't know that? Well, you know, you're right. I mean, who doesn't know that? But regardless of that, I like doing things with a calculator. It just seems to be better. So 15.5. Okay, so if I want to measure down from the center here, 15.5 divided by 2. Seven and 3/4. Okay, so what I'll do right now is I'm going to go ahead and measure a mark at 7 3/4 down. And I'm going to burn an inch because it's easier to hold the tape that way. So I'm going to mark 8 3/4. So that should be half the sphere. That mark right there. So if it's 31 inches in circumference, which is all the way around, divided by 2 is 15.5. Okay, one thing I want to do is I'm going to mark the other side too. The other side as best I can. So math is a weird beast to me. I never really understood math, vocabulary, or formal math until I went to college about 10 years ago. Don't misunderstand me. I've always been really, really good at math. I just didn't have the vocabulary, couldn't talk about it, but in my mind, I see math. I mean, I just see it. So now that that's the center, I'm going to double check my circumference. I want to double check that I was measuring it at the right height. Close enough. So I feel like I'm good to go on that point. So now, just for the fun of it, why not just go ahead and make that horizontal mark right now. And I think I'm going to lower the camera. So you can get a better idea of how this works, so it's not angled down so far. Also going to, I guess that's not something I can do. So I have this square right here. That I can adjust. Let me move it again. Sorry about this. Guess I should learn to trim and patch. I have the square right here and it's bolted to the table. I have a mark right here as that being half. So now I'm going to come through here. I'm going to adjust. I'm going to take this other pin tool and I'm going to make it land on that mark. Okay, so it's on that mark. So now I'm dragging this pin tool, making a horizontal mark around the face of this sphere. And there we go. So I have a horizontal mark. So now I have to decide what width do I want for these. So essentially what I'll do, and I can go to my, I have a journal. Where's it at? I think it's in the other room. But I have a journal that has all my formulas and breakdowns. But I don't know. 3/4 of an inch seems to work good. So this may sound corny, but sometimes these dimensions get confusing. It's just easier to write them out. So what I'll do. So I know for some of you this sounds really, really silly that I do this. But I do. So first, I'll just take 7 3/4, and let's say I'll divide it by 9. Seven 3/4 divided by 9 equals a 7/8 inch layout. So what the heck? Let's look at 7/8 again. You know, 7/8 may not be too bad. I need to go look at something really quick on one of my other spheres. I'm not sure how this is gonna look, but I think I'm gonna go. The center is a good 1.5 inches, 1 3/4. So I think I'm going to go 1 inch. Or what I could do is I've got 18 going around. I could have 18 going vertical. So I could take 15.5 divided by 18. Seven-eighths of an inch. So 7/8 of an inch it is. So here we go. So the first one will be 7/8. Next one will be 1 3/4. Plus 7/8, 2 5/8. Plus 7/8, 3.5. Plus 7/8, 4 3/8. Plus 7/8 equals 5 1/4. Plus 7/8 equals 6 1/8. And that's 7 inches. And then 7 7/8. Okay. Not sure how this is going to work, but so I always burn something, so I'm going to burn 1 inch. So I basically need to add 1 inch to all those dimensions. Granted, I won't go all the way to 7. So we go 7/8. One 7/8. 2 3/4. 2 3/4, 3 5/8. Four and a half. 5 3/8. 6 1/4. 7 1/8. And 8. However, I probably won't go that high. I'll probably stop at this one. So now that I have that established, I can come in here. kind of have to be careful that you don't let this flex too much, but okay, I might get one more out of this. And again, probably not. I don't think I'm going to go after another. That's when I change to using this thing. I put it in the hole up there and I spin it around. But you get the idea. So there you go. Now it kind of gets more and more complex. So I'm just going to kind of need to quit worrying about trying to videotape this. So have a good one. Later.